بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله صلى الله عليك وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة غريب مظلوم كربلاء يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه يا بني لا تشرك بالله إن الشرك لظلم عظيم. صلوا على محمد. The age of the youth and the teenagers are a sensitive years. A transit from the childhood to adulthood. Parents, guardians, others in the community should take care and attention for this age period, which starts from the age of 13, 14, and onwards. It is a good and a useful years of age, but on the other side, it could be harmful, dangerous, destructive for the family, for the relatives, and for that youth as well. Because the first person who will benefit or will be harmed is the youth himself. An important time for the teenagers to understand before they proceed in the years of adolescence, of bulugh. In the old days, our grandfathers and fathers back to our Muslim countries, there were no internet, no iPhones, no satellite channels, not even TV. This came late afterwards. So the child opens his eyes in the age of 13, 12, 14, and the society is almost clean. There's some kind of hijab. There's no TV to watch films and movies and so forth. The generation was different back 50, 60, 70 years ago. Now things completely changed. Now every child have in some kind access to the world, either by the website, for example, or by the TV and so forth. Easily can access and see whatever he wants to see, good or bad. So this means we as parents, as guardians, as community leaders and Islamic center leaders and participants should take care and caution on how to challenge and come up with a solution for our youth. Now, there are stages which begins for a youth to feel things, to see things. The stages are, the first change and development starts with physical. There's a physical change in the youth age. He will start to see and feel the puberty signs, علامات البلوغ. And that's something new for the child. And that needs to be sorted and cured by, if not parents, by somebody who knows how to teach this child to do, for example, the ghusl, al-wajib, and so forth. To catch up with the child, not to leave him to neglect and ignore the wajibat and muharramat. The minute you see the child is just growing, bring him to yourself. If you're a father, if you can. Sometimes mothers will prefer for the boys. The men would basically take care of the bulugh issues for the boys, and the women would take care of the girls' bulugh issues. It's important. So somebody sits with that child, that teenager, and tells them that this is the alamat al-bulugh. 1, 2, 3, and this is what you have to do, basically. Now the boys are different from the girls, so there's difference in what the alamat, what the signs are. Important that we inform our children prior to their bulugh age at least, and tell them that be careful. You would be an adult, either you're 14, 15 or 16. It's not to do with the age. Although the Shari'i age for the girls, when they complete the 9 years old of Hijri calendar, not the Hijri calendar, when they complete 9 years of age. And for the boys, when they complete 15 years of age, according to the Hijri Islamic calendar, then they become baligh. But for the boys specifically, there are signs. You go back inshallah to maybe the internet itself. You can search alamat al-bulugh, for example, the signs of puberty and bulugh. It will tell you exactly what are they. I think there are 3, which I just mentioned now today, and other 2 you can find out inshallah. صلوا على محمد وعلى محمد. So the first change is the physical change. They start to see things they haven't seen before and feel they haven't felt before. The second change is the cognitive. The cognitive means making decisions. It's bulugh al-aqli, in other words. They start to make their own decisions. You see the shabab in the age of 16, 17, they want to be free, have the freedom to travel, to go to work even, and so forth. They want to be free. They will tell you that I'm no more a child. You can't just inspect me. Let me go and enjoy myself with my friends. So they feel that their aql, their cognitive has reached the age of understanding and making their own decisions. The third stage, which is also a dangerous stage, is the emotional stage. They start to have feelings. And that's why some of our youth, they fall into love with the opposite gender, either from the boys' side or the girls' side. The emotions come. They want to basically satisfy their emotions. So what is important for the parents to know that, and the best solution is you as a mother or father, try beforehand, give him the emotions. You satisfy him. Show him the love. Buy him presents in the Eid time. Take him to the trips. Take him to, the playgrounds and so forth. You try to cover the emotions that this teenager will have in this age. If you don't give him the emotions, the passion, he will get it somewhere else. From the school, from the college, from anywhere else, from the streets even. Because shaitan is around. He's not dead, he's still alive. So the shaitan and nafs al-ammara work together to attract this shab, this teenager, this mu'min. So we have to put basically a solution for this matter as parents, as the community itself, to respect. For example, one of the respects from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. He used to say salam, salamun alaikum to the kids, small kids, giving them respect, confidence. When you say salam to a kid, he will feel, it's all emotions, he will feel that this alim or this gentleman or this mu'min made him and gave him a status. Although I'm a child, I'm 10 years old, but the salam of an adult has effects, emotional effects. So we have to feed our kids emotionally. And of course, our youth must understand that having relationships in the form of a girlfriend for the boys and the boyfriend for the girls is absolutely rejected and haram in Islam. Because that will lead, because who says that girl will stay with you forever? It's just a period of shahwa, of desire, of lust. Because the peak of the shahwa is between 16 and 19. Peak of the shahwa. Afterwards, it reduces when it's 20, 30, 40. And of course, it will disappear by 70, 80. So the peak of the lust and desire and shahwa is between this age, 16 and 19. So they try to make basically some kind of a relationship. So we have to control it. Controlling this desire, it's hard, but it's possible. Initially with a good education and akhlaq, and of course teaching our kids that this is haram, this is halal, and so forth. Nobody will reject the good words. If your child is educated in proper way, he won't reject it. So what we need to have is to have the maw'idha al-hasana, use a tool and a method to persuade them, to encourage them to do the amal al-salihah. So for the youth, they try to avoid the haram. How? إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر. When the youth, when the teenager starts to pray early, in the early ages, he will have gradually a shield, as we do install in our systems antivirus. He'll have antivirus, anti-sin software, in other words, to protect him from the haram. When you start to pray the ibadat, you read the Quran, although you're 10 or 12, that will initially build in yourself as a teenager, as a child, the immunity system, an immune system against the sins and haram. So we have to be careful, shabab, my respected teenagers, that the ibadah is something you need. You can't leave it. You need, because if your soul dies, your body is dead as well, finish. Those who went and served their bodies, drinking alcohol, relationships, drugs, even their bodies, dead. So you'll lose your body, not only your soul. You'll lose dunya and akhirah. Na'udhu billah. So the third is emotion, the stage of emotions. That will change gradually. And number 4, allow me to say it, the sexual stage, which the child starts to feel differently. To solve this problem, basically, to solve this issue, the only way is marriage. No way. This is a young teenager who needs a partner. Now, of course, we have the age issue in Europe. But easily, a teenager, when he passes the age of 17, 18, he can get married easily. There's no problem. So if the teenager really needs, then why not we offer it for them? And instead of going to the haram side, let them offer them the halal side. So marriage, the early marriage, because that's the immunity, that is the hifd, to protect the child, the teenager, from a definite danger of shaitan and the shahwa. Yes, some people can wait till they are mature, fine, no problem. They finish college, I don't know, whatever they can finish off. Work, college, university. But at the end of the day, they need someone. So we have to offer them. The hadith says, من تزوج فقد أحرز نصف دينه فليتق الله في النصف الآخر. The one who gets married, he has covered half of his religion. So he needs to take care of the second half of his religion, of his belief, which is the taqwa, the sins and so forth. So the marriage is half of our belief and religion and faith. Half. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the desire of the opposite gender. You have to feed it, you have to cover it. It's part of it. And nikah sunnati. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa says, it's my sunnah, my tradition. فَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْهَا فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. We have to cover these desires in a halal way, of course. So parents should take care of this matter. They should discuss it with their teenagers, with their sons, daughters. There's no haya, la haya fi din. It's all to do with masail shar'iyya and so forth. Sit down, talk to your child. You can't talk, take him to a alim, take him to somebody else, a friend who knows these things. He can provide advice, mentoring, and so forth. It's important that we try to tackle these problems from the beginning. Don't leave it too late. There are a lot of influences in the society that we live in, especially the Western society. You have the influence of the school and college, the influence of the street, the influence of the media, the influence of the society. They all have the influence on our children, even on ourselves. If we stay away from these majalis, for example, for some time, we will change as well. When you don't hear the ahadith, قال الصادق والباقر, or the masail shar'iyya, this is haram or halal, you'll gradually forget them. And you just go on without inspecting yourself and your a'mal. So we all need it. We need to sit down. As Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam used to say, أتجلسون وتتحدثون إني أحب تلك المجالس. They love these majalis, Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. They love it. They adore it. They support it. So it's important that we be friends with our youth, inshallah ta'ala. Let me just give you a story. One of the thousands of stories of families broke up. Muslim Shia families broke up. One of the families, they travel from Iraq to Norway. They reside in Norway. And they have a girl. She grows up in Norway, 16, 17, 18, and they let her off. And that's a freedom, let them enjoy themselves. She went with a Norwegian boy. Finish. Not even halal way. She became a friend with a Norwegian real citizen. So the parents decide to go to Dubai and live in Dubai. They take her with force. They take her to Dubai. They stay there for some time. The father tries to find accommodation to buy or to rent. What does the girl do? She doesn't show anything. She leaves her parents as they are. After a few weeks, she goes back, and the passport is with the father. She goes to the Norwegian embassy. She makes complaint against her parents that they forced me to leave Norway. So the Norwegian, they give her the new passport and they take her back to Norway, and they issue a warrant of arrest against the parents, and they take the parents back to Norway and they jail them in prison. Who is mistake? Who is fault? It's the parents, nobody else. The parents neglected, ignored their child gradually. Yani why a girl 10 years you allow her to leave the house alone except for the school? Why? Even the 10 years old child going with my friends, no way. I'll take you. Okay, where you're going? I take the boy or the girl to the house of the friend, for example. No problem, but don't leave them to go out alone in the streets. That's a mistake. When you leave them, they will leave at the end of the day. At 10 years old, 9 years old. So it's important that we, in the same time, we allow them to enjoy themselves at home or school. In the same time, we inspect. I don't want to say be a spy on them, but we try to inspect them because they are our child, our fruits. Don't let them just do whatever they want. And don't use the harsh language or violence at all. Never beat them. Never slap your child. Never. It's wrong. Unless it's a severe situation, you just tell them off, basically, that this is wrong, and so forth, for ta'deeb. But you don't slap the child from the first minute. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Now, another challenge that the youth they face today is that they're being careless, irresponsible to their parents. The child, he doesn't want to listen to his parents. He's arrogant. He doesn't want to listen. He just want to basically do whatever he wants. And that also requires some kind of cure as well. That you sit down with that teenager without shouting, without screaming. Try to have the influence of the friends of the others, and try to make that teenager understand that they're living in a world that bears responsibility. Imam al-Sajjad, salamullah alayhi, he says in the dua, يقول اللهم اجعلني أهابهما. He says, let me, oh Allah, give me, best to me, the feeling that I would fear my parents. How? اللهم اجعلني أهابهما هيبة السلطان. Oh Allah, give me the feeling that I fear my parents as I fear the ruler, the sultan. اللهم اجعلني أهابهما هيبة السلطان العسوف. The sultan who is fearful, the one who you scare from him. وأبرهما بر الأم الرؤوف. And let me be good with them, serve them as the mother serves her children, with passion, with love. Let me do the same, oh Allah. Give me this feeling that I would serve my parents as she serves us. Be passionate, not to be arrogant and without any feeling. So it's important for us to take care of our children, inshallah. From the early ages, you teach them the salah. I know some kids, they used to pray in the age of 8 and 9. They stand next to their mother or father, they pray. 9 years old, why not? Encourage them, tell them. One of the ulama who became a marja' and his son became maraja'. His mother used to wake this marja', who was a child, 3 years old. She used to wake him up in the middle of the night for salat al-layl, but he's 3 years old, he doesn't understand salah. So she used to make him to get used to waking up in the middle of the night. She gives him a bit of sweets, sultana, raisin and everything, to eat and watch the mother, how she prays Salatul Layl. This is how we nurture and educate our kids. If you want to stay in a separate room, you pray in this room. You become abid, and your kids are watching TV, I don't know, football matches, and you never mention to them salah or anything else. They will grow up non-religious, with no faith. You have to feed them. That's why these majalis of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim gives them the spirit, gives them the faith, the iman, the true iman. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله قال, in a long hadith, the Prophet, peace be upon him and his pure family, he tells us how the anwar of Ahlul Bayt was spread in the world and what they created. So when Allah created the nur of Ahlul Bayt, from their nur, Allah created other things, creations. فيقول في حديث طويل: ثم فتق نور ولدي الحسين عليه السلام فخلق منه الجنة والحور العين فالجنة والحور العين من نور ولدي الحسين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. The paradise that inshallah all mu'mins will go and reside there, it was created from Nur al-Hussein salamullah alayh, purely. And likewise the Hur al-Ain as well, from Nur al-Hussein. So when you go to paradise, you as a Husseini, as Ushaq al-Hussein, you go to the Jannah which was made from Nur al-Hussein salamullah alayh. Greatness, this Imam salamullah alayh, exception. ثم يقول صلى الله عليه وآله: فالجنة والحور العين من نور ولدي الحسين عليه السلام ونور ولدي الحسين من نور الله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not a creation, He's a creator. So He creates the greatest things, which is Nurullah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which are Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. And the best ever Allah created was Ahlul Bayt. Adam min teen wa turab. But Ahlul Bayt are from Nurullah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but embodied in the human being, as a human being. Allah purified them in Ayat al-Tatahir. He made them thorough purification with no sins, no mistakes, nothing. But the enemies of Ahlul Bayt eventually came and they stepped on the sanctity and the holiness of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. And there was no day like the day of Ashura. Laylatul Qasim bin Hassan salamullah alayhi. Our hearts goes towards Baqi', the father of Al-Qasim alayhi salam. And it goes into Karbala as well. We make a visitation in Medina and Karbala. What a great link between the father in Medina and that demolished and destroyed shrine of A'immatul Baqi' salamullah alayh by the enemies of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim, by the Wahhabis, by the Nawasib. May Allah destroy them inshallah. So Al-Qasim salamullah alayh, a night before Ashura, he comes to his uncle Hussein salamullah alayh. غلام لم يبلغ الحلم. He was under 15 years of age, 13, 14 possibly. A youth like the ones we have, mashallah, حفظهم الله ta'ala. He comes and Al-Hussein salamullah alayh says, Bunay, كيف ترى الموت? How do you see the death? Al-Qasim salamullah alayh says, in your cause, أحلى من العسل, sweeter than honey. in your cause, for your cause, Abu Abdullah, O uncle. This is Al-Qasim, son of Al-Hasan Salamullah alayhi. On the day of Ashura, Al-Qasim comes to his uncle Hussein Salamullah alayhi. He asks from his uncle the ijazah, al-ijazah, ya am, allow me to go to fight those enemies. Imam al-Hussein initially rejected, he refused. He said that you are the sign, you are the remainder of my brother Al-Hasan. You remind me of Al-Hasan, my brother. Al-Qasim, he becomes sad, then suddenly remembers that his father Hassan, he wrote for him a will. And he wrote in that letter that before basically giving the letter to him, he said to him, if you felt unhappy and sad, then go and open this letter and read it. So he remembers this letter, this will. He opens it and he reads this text and he takes it to Abu Abdullah Hussein. Happy, glad that Alhamdulillah, I have something, a permission from my father to go to the battlefield. The letter says, ولدي قاسم إذا رأيت عمك الحسين وحيدا فريدا فلا تقصر في نصرته. O son Qasim, if you saw your uncle Hussein alone, single, then do not neglect and reject his support. Go and support him. He brings the letter. Imam Hussein Salamullah alayhi, he reads that letter and he starts to cry and he allows him